Let's discuss the most excellent completely free VPNs. So let's begin immediately. We will start from the least favorable to the most favorable. In this scenario, it would be the least favorable on this list, not that it is inadequate, just that the superior ones possess enhanced features. Let's click here where it indicates download. I will demonstrate in this video that they are free to a certain extent because that is where the limitations commence. For instance, this one is free but solely offers us 2 GB per month entirely free, and when they are depleted we must wait until the following month to reset. In this specific situation concerning SPDiFi, I will ensure that all the necessary hyperlinks are provided within the video description for you to explore them thoroughly. This application is compatible with Windows, macOS, Linux, iOS and iPadOS, Android and OpenWRT. Let's proceed to download it for Windows. The download will commence and we will proceed with the installation to explore its functionalities and the various options it provides. Once installed, a screen similar to this will appear and it will immediately inform you that a payment of $90 annually or $15 monthly is required, but there is no need to worry. Simply swipe to the right on these tabs that appear here and you can click on these arrows. It mentions a limited free version, optimizing your initial 2 GB of data usage each month. No account is necessary. You can utilize SPDiFi for free with certain limitations, and here we select the free version. It indicates that we are connected, we click accept, and all the pertinent information is displayed. It shows the usage of these 2 GB. If we wish to change servers, we need to navigate to these 3 lines here, then proceed to where it says server, and the fastest recommended server will appear, which will automatically connect. However, if we desire, for instance, we can change it at any time, like to Brazil or any of these servers that appear here. Verify if the one you require is available. But remember, once we commence browsing, automatically, for example, I haven't even accessed any web pages, I just remained idle, and it already indicates we've consumed 1% of these 2 GB. It functions quite effectively to complement with the subsequent VPNs where you can activate this one with good traffic, meaning it's suitable for basic uses. If these 2 GB are depleted, you need to deactivate it and transition to the next one. This is the only limitation this VPN currently has. Let's proceed to the next one. The subsequent VPN is associated with a browser, which is Opera, this one here. You must install the browser and browse through it to access this VPN. Some individuals may appreciate it, others may not. But in this case, if we desire to have this Grand VPN, which indeed informs us here, we need to have the Opera browser installed, and it provides us with 3 locations, meaning we can position ourselves in 3 places globally, but it's just to have it. We simply click download now here and we can download it. This VPN will be accessible on the devices where you can install Opera, so if Opera is available for iOS or Windows or Mac, then you will have the VPN available there. So we run the installer, click accept install. Here you can configure this if you wish. And it's starting. This is the Opera installer. We just wait, and here you configure it as you desire, and that's it. Once we have the browser installed, we go to the top left where the Opera icon appears, go to settings, and at the top search for VPN, and it will show enable VPN. Click on it and the button will automatically appear. It then says connect to VPN when the browser starts. If you want it to enable, as soon as you open the browser, enable default search engines ignoring the VPN, enable intranet services ignoring the VPN. You can configure it there, and just by browsing, if I go to booking for example, the VPN icon appears here. If I want to activate it, I click on it, it says unprotected, I just click on it and it should enable. But for some reason on some web pages it doesn't work. I don't know why. Maybe they don't allow it. But if I open a new tab and go to another, look, in this one it appears protected. So it's strange that in some it can change while in others it can't. And it also shows the location here. You can select the optimal location and choose between different continents, but sometimes it works well, sometimes very slowly. To be honest, this is one of the VPNs I like the least, and it's linked with Opera. But the good thing compared to the previous one is that on the pages where it does work, it's completely unlimited, meaning it won't tell you to deactivate it at some point when you've reached the limit. It just doesn't have a good connection. And if we need to access certain pages, sometimes it doesn't work even if we have the VPN active. Proceeding to the subsequent VPN, this is Hotspot Shield. In this particular instance, if we examine the pricing structure, you will notice there's an entirely complimentary version available, but it permits only a singular device to be connected at any given time. In actuality, it can be utilized on multiple platforms, but on each one, a distinct account needs to be created to have this VPN installed on all the devices we possess. This VPN offers unlimited usage, but let's say that only up to 1 gigabyte will we experience a high quality connection, and beyond that, it will resemble a standard connection, so we won't achieve the optimal speed. Let's proceed with the task at hand. We need to wait for it to fully load. At this stage, we must input our registration details along with our card information to register. But I will provide an alternative link enabling you to install it without incurring any costs, which is available here. It's simply this link that I'll include in the description. Just click here to download and it will automatically commence downloading without necessitating registration or any other requirements. It already indicates the free version accompanied by advertisements, so we wait, and once it's downloaded, we proceed with the installation. Here it is already installed. Let's click next, and we already have it. Now it states that if we desire the premium version, we can try it for 7 days at no cost, but in our scenario, we'll opt for the basic one, which is free, and here we click reject offer and we remain with this version. So observe, we're going to click connect to VPN, it initiates loading, we wait for it to complete. Here we receive a notification that it's connected, and once it's connected, it will indicate that we're in the United States. If we wish to alter the location, for instance, here we can simply scroll down. And suppose we want to connect to Australia, we select Australia here and click connect, but in this instance, it will prompt us to register. Therefore, in this situation, we can't change it unless we have limited speed, meaning we can only connect to these servers in Los Angeles, New York, the United Kingdom, and Singapore for free, which appear below. For these, you would need to pay for the version or have the 7-day free trial. And remember that here at maximum speed, we will only have 1 GB, but once you complete it, you can continue using this VPN, but it will load much slower than it would normally. So that's why we're going to stop it, and that's why it's in this location, because, well, it has a very low speed once we've completed the gig, and besides, that 1 GB limit only. Now we have the next one called Tunnel Bear. Let's click download. It will start downloading directly, in this case for Windows, and once it's downloaded, we'll have it here. We click on the installer, wait for it to download, and if you want to install it on another device, just click different here and you can install it on Mac, iOS, Android. In this case, it's on Windows, so it appears here to install. We click install, we give permissions and wait for it to install. Here it's finishing installing. Good design, really, and unfortunately in this case, compared to the others, you do have to register. So if you haven't registered, you have to enter your details here. Let's quickly create the account, and perfect, we've created the account. It tells us several details, but generally this is paid. Here it tells us to verify the account, so let's verify. Oh well, in this case, we have to wait for an email to arrive, so we wait for it to arrive and verify it. Perfect, I've just verified it. Now we go back, click verify here, and that's it, we have it. And here it will seem like we should pay the subscription, but let's click close because we don't want to pay it, and now this will appear. Now the limit we have is 2 GB or 2000 megabytes, as you can see here. If we want more than this, we have to upgrade, meaning move up the category and pay a subscription. But in this case, those 2 GB, as I say, can serve as complements if you want to switch between different VPNs. And here what we're going to do is choose the server. So let's turn it on first. It will choose the fastest server. So here automatically the animations and design are the best. And here it directly appeared that it loaded, that it already took us to another place, so we already appeared here. Now let's set a specific server, for example in the United States. It does the animation again here and goes to another site. Look, and it appears here and we can keep changing it. But then let's choose Norway and we're going to change. Look here, it effectively returns to the starting point and then goes to the country we chose. Completely free at this moment, but as soon as we complete this amount of capacity that we have for free, it will disconnect and it won't let us continue until the next month. And that's how this VPN works. It's really interesting to complement it, but you'd have to try if it works for the purpose you want to use it for. And we're going to disconnect it. Let's close here and move on to the next. We've reached the top 3 and we start with the first one called Hive Me, and this plan is free, but the free plan has an option that is unlimited data, but the speed is restricted, so we have this option. Let's click get the free plan. Previously it gave us 10 gigabytes, but now it appears this way, which is unlimited. it may still appear to you that it's 10 GB but with normal speed, and from there the speed increases. It may appear that way, but at this moment, let's say this VPN is one of the best free ones because, as I say, it gives you unlimited capacity, meaning unlimited data. It doesn't have a specific limit as such, but the speed can be quite limited because it's free and we depend on the servers not being too busy. Here we're not going to restart the PC, so let's click no and click finish, and here it's starting to launch. And again, unfortunately, we have to create an email, so let's create it here to have our free plan. We wait for it to finish loading here. Look, just at this moment it didn't ask me to register. You have to register, but only if you're going to pay for a plan. But in this case, no. Here it tells us unlimited, completely free. Look, here it appears. This is the version we need, and simply here we click connect. Here we click connect to the VPN. It says connecting automatically on the map, and we wait. It doesn't have as good animations as the previous one, but really that doesn't interest us. In fact, we're not even seeing where we're connected. We're just in this option. But if we want to connect, for example, to Argentina, it won't let us because it has a block, because we have to pay a membership. And to know which ones we can connect to without this need, we would have to scroll down here all this, and we realize that no, we can't connect to any. We can simply let it choose for us. It's also important that this is unlimited because we really can't choose which country or site to connect to. And when we become, let's say, premium, if you want to pay the subscription for this, the best servers are these that have this sign here. They are the ones with the best speed. And then here for streaming, which is to unlock content on different networks. Everything is blocked. There's no way to connect. But, well, we can at least connect here. Look, it connected us, if I'm not mistaken, I think to the Netherlands, as we see here. So, well, it may work for you. Let's stop it. It's disconnecting, and we move on to the next. The next one is this one. It's called Windscribe. Here we have the pricing section, and here it seems that we can have a plan tailored to our needs to pay. But in our case, we don't want to pay. We simply click download. And we're going to download the version to have it on our PC. So, well, let's download it and run it. Perfect, here we already have it. And in this case, we have 2 GB. And you might be wondering why I'm telling you this is better than others that have speed, well, even unlimited capacity, when this one only has 2 gigabytes. And in the others, I could have unlimited capacity only with limited speed. Well, because I have personally tried this one. And first of all, it has an extremely good speed for being free, even though it only has a 2 GB limit. Well, that's it. 2 GB work very well wherever you go to any page from the locations it allows. The speeds are very good, meaning the servers are very good in this VPN. The other thing is that we have, well, a few servers, for example, the United States and Canada. For those who need to connect to the United States, this is literally the best VPN. But as I say, it only has 2 GB available, which are these that appear here. So if you want more, you have to unlock it. You have to come here and pay a subscription. But in terms of servers, it's very good. But with those 2 gigs, it might work for you or it might not. So you have to try. And we've reached the best, the #1 free one, and it's Proton VPN. Let's open it here. Let's see, this is the program itself. Well, here it's loading. Here it appears that it's connecting. At this moment, I'm not connected to any server. Let's click connect. In this case, we're now connected to the United States, and this is completely unlimited. If they tell us they give us a limited version in speed, let's say for free, but it's a very good speed and it's completely unlimited. The only bad thing is that to change servers, we can't do it unless we click this button. If I click this button that says change server, it will change it to a completely random server, meaning I can't choose if I want to go to a specific country, and it will simply choose the one it deems convenient. So let's click change, and look, it automatically changes it, and now it put me in Norway and it will stay there, but I can change the server again if 40 seconds pass. Now if I change servers all the time, maybe looking for the country I need, for example, I needed to land in Spain, well then each time the time will be higher. So if I click change server again, then instead of 40 seconds it could be a minute, and so on. So this is a good VPN to be protected, but not to choose the specific locations I need to connect to. For that, the previous ones would be fine, but in this case, no. So here
We're simply going to wait for these seconds that are passing here to be able to change the server and show you again. Let's say, look, I can change it again. Let's click. Now it's going to choose another server. It might repeat the United States one, or it might change me to another, or it might repeat the same one we were on, or it might stay like this connecting for quite some time. It has happened to me. Look, now it chose the Netherlands, and look, now it increased a few seconds, like 5 more seconds. So it keeps increasing like that. The trick I use is to click disconnect and then click connect again, and sometimes it reconnects me to the server I connected to first, which is the United States one, which generally for me is the fastest, and I just leave it there. As you can see, nowhere does it show a limit of the server in terms of the amount of GB to spend or anything. It's simply unlimited.